I got sick, so if my voice is gross, then that's why. It's going to be day 87 in the Blueprints house. What did I have written down? Yeah, the gas lines thing is still kind of in progress, so I'm hoping to get a hovel so I can turn off the last gas line and see if anything's different down below. I suspect not. And, oh, I've also got written that I ended day 86 in the bunk room. So, with any luck, there will be a tomb waiting for me. Let's see what we get here. Lockpick kit, that's great, and some gems. Oh yeah, and of course I had a freezer last time, so I have some gems. I don't think I've got any particular reason to pick that up right now, so let's go outside. So, I hope it will give me a tomb. Yeah, the keys are from... So the money and 16 of the gems are from the freezer, I believe. And then the keys are from having a clocked out last time, that's right. Give me a tomb. No tomb. And no hovel. I think I'm going to do Schoolhouse again. Because I took a look at my answers and I took a look at the questions and I think I figured out which ones I got wrong. Do I have any reason to go in here? I don't remember. I don't think so. There might be an apple. I don't think there's anything else. I've already turned off the gas there. I could turn it back on, but no, I want to confirm that switching the back off doesn't do anything before I start fiddling around with them again. Do you know what? Now that I think about it, have I ever gone down there since getting the attic to have a look at what Baron Edwin, was it Edwin Sinclair was looking at? Or is it Thomas Sinclair? So, he's hanging out here, pointing probably at that. Is there anything else that he could be pointing at? Not really, I think. I think he's pointing at this stuff. That one... Some of the arches look a little weird. They look kind of disjointed at the top. I don't know if that's anything though. Or he could be pointing down at those ones. Because that's probably what we visit when we take the elevator down and have a look. It's just weird that we can't look up and see this when we're down there. Maybe... And yeah, there's nothing we can see from this direction, is there? There's that kind of opening that I can see from below on the cliff face. I wish I could see something from here, but there's no spot I can go to have a look. As far as I'm aware. Yeah, the west path is way too far back. I wouldn't be able to see across. I'd need to be near that waterfall somewhere. Remind myself about what's over here and what I can see. And not much, I think. Can I see anything from up there? Not gonna go that way. Oh, I thought for a second it was letting me climb that. So I am wasting steps here. I don't think I want to go as far as the campsite, because it's really the other side of that I want to look at. That is part of the campsite, isn't it? That's where I dug the hole. Yeah, let's go in. Do you know what? I am going to look in from the campsite. So we can see those arches again from here. I can't go any further out. Can't get a better look. Okay, I don't think I'm going in there or in the cavern. I think it's time to go in the house and start another school day. Yet another. I wonder what I'm cooking. Don't think I've looked out here for a long time, but it looks like there's nothing really to see. Alright, let's move on into the house. Still have no good ideas about what the final admin login might be for Blackbridge. I still have the nagging feeling that I probably said the word at some point, but I don't know. Oh yeah, there was a hotfix update where they say they have fixed the bug that gave me the Explorer's Trophy too early. I don't know if I still have it. Let's find out. Where am I looking? It still says I've got it, which is kind of a shame. I would like it to go away until I've actually earned it. Oh well. Okay, I have many gems. I don't mind spending... Oh, and I've kept the compass and the secret garden key. Okay. Alright, that's pretty nice. Okay, let's go. Let's see, let's get a den. If I remember correctly, I have had everything other than perhaps the spare bedroom in rank 8 and had all of the memos. So I suppose it doesn't matter when I grab anything anymore. Now, I think I should take the library. I've got plenty of time for classrooms later. Let's make our way through the books. So last time I took Swimbird, this time I'm going to take... I looked at the footage of these two. Between recording the last video and this one. What I wanted, and I forget why I wanted to do this, but I wanted to look at every difference, what was censored between the two, and I actually wrote some quite careful notes on the differences between the two. There was one thing that I noticed, so I don't think I'm going to pull these. I don't think I'm going to pull these two, because I looked at them in detail in footage recently. History of Arindia. So, second edition notes, that's my original notes for the second edition. First edition, that's the notes I made later, and I've touched them up a couple times, I think. And now, this is what I wrote recently, the differences. So I wrote specifically pretty much everything that I found, other than when there was like a huge section, I kind of summarized what the difference was of a huge section of censorship. So the one main thing that I did notice is this. That the first edition has the subtitle Ajira to Iraja, which translates as the first era to the last era, or the first era to Iraja. Because it's weird that the name of the realm Iraja is also a translation of final or last era. Did they call their place last era? That's weird. So it could be that it can mean last era, but doesn't in this case. It could just mean first era to Iraja. Or in this case, it might mean first era to last era. But who's saying it's the last era? That seems like a weirdly ominous thing to say about your world. Anyway, and then the second edition has the subtitle second edition. It does not say Ajira to Iraja. And I am wondering if that's in some way relevant. I don't know. And I wrote notes about all the differences I could find. So I'm going to skip getting the history of Arindia, and I'm going to go straight to the Curse of Black Bridge, I guess. And then we will gradually go through all of them. So, done. And while I am here, I think I should have a little look at the stats. I still don't know what these are about. Why are these here? I don't know. I don't know. Right, let's have a little look at stats. Records. We are getting up in the hours. Oh, more than 10,000 steps now. And it looks like I take hallways more than anything else, although it doesn't say blue rooms. I guess I could subtract things. Oh, look at that. 49 each. Oh, never mind. They're the same thing. I've just always solved it. There are 4 there that I didn't. I think some I just forgot to solve. I think one of them I failed. I forget. And yes. Upgrade discs 15. So I had this written somewhere. So there is another upgrade disc somewhere. I don't know where to find that. 6 red letters. I know where another one probably is. I don't know where the 8th one is. Okay. Over here. Oh look, we have windows. It would be interesting if there's some outside detail that you can only see from a certain room in a certain position. That would be interesting. Scrapbook. Hey. I've paid 72 gems for cloisters. There's my contraptions. Blue tents was my most expensive thing. My, I believe, full stamp collection. 8 stamps for 8 realms. I wonder if there's more to the locksmith, because I've pretty much never found it valuable. This is... There's a big space here, isn't there? There's a big space. Yes, that's my best grade, but today's the day where I get full marks. And I will talk about my findings about that when I get there. And hopefully I will get there. I don't see any particular reason I wouldn't. I should get myself a source of redraws just in case that the ones that it gives me are not enough, though. It's too early for that. I don't really want that. I mean, I don't really want the dormitory here. I suppose I will take the classroom. Yeah, let's do it. I think I will leave the apple until I find something which makes apples more delicious. And so I think I've got nothing to do in here. Let's move on. Right, I would have preferred to have gone from the den, but never mind. I suppose I get redraws here, actually. Chamber of Mirrors might be nice. Might be able to duplicate some things. Could lead to some interesting effects. And I might be able to get some extra floor plans as well if I go upstairs in there. I still find the puzzles in there a little bit confusing. So I will take that. It's a nice spot for it. I've already got doors from 2 directions. So yeah, I will. Chamber of Mirrors, thank you. Let's go press its button, which opens the other side. Hey, look, there's a... Oh, and remember, if we spread anything into here, then we spread it 4 times. So we could think about trying to do that. May as well press another button, which opened that. Do I want to go back? I'm going to say no, not yet. Actually, I should. It's more buttons to press, isn't it? Should I take the orange? Yeah, oranges don't become more delicious. Opens that one, and I can't go there yet. So I think I'm done for now. Okay. Yeah, Chamber of Mirrors does eat a lot of steps, doesn't it? Let's go north. Am I going to risk that? I think I would probably rather take the break room here and rotate it. Let's do that. And I will do the puzzle. After seeing if there are any items for me, which I don't think there are. Okay, 12. Minus 8 is 4. Multiplied by 4 or divided by 4? I'm going to say multiply 16. I can never remember. Okay, what about pink and purple? How can I remember them? Yeah, never mind. I always figure it out. 20 minus 15 is 5. Times 3 is 15. Divided by 15. It's 3. No, it isn't. 12. What was this? 16. 20. Minus 15 is 5. Times 3 is 15. Divided by 15. What am I... Why am I feeling like an idiot? Because I am one is probably it. 20... Minus 15. 5. 5 times 3. 15. 15 divided by 15 is 1. What am I doing? 12 and 1. 13. 3. 33. Oh, it's still just 3. Wait. I keep confusing myself. 13. Minus 10. 3. Whatever I do here, it's still 3. Brain not fully functioning today, I think. Okay, we go into the Hall of Mirrors again. Let's go upstairs and see what we can do. Do I want another storeroom? Not really. No thanks. So there's one side that I've not been to. Over here. It's a weird room. So I want to get over there. Which one did I not press yet? The one from the break room side. It opens that. Should I eat them? Have I pressed this? I don't know. I find this room very confusing. That's closed now. Let's go upstairs and see if I can get in the last cupboard. That's opened, that's opened. This one's closed. But I can't get there right now. Okay, back down, so it's this one that I need to open. Okay, that should do it. Den. Do I want a third den? What was the other option? Storeroom. I don't want another storeroom. Do I want a third den? Just one gem and a T-junction. I'm going to say no. I'm going to say no. Thank you so much, but I decline. Okay, now I want everything open so I can use this as a four-way thingy. Okay. What's that going to open? Good. What about you? No, thank you. What about you? No, thank you. Actually, I guess this is fine. I can get to everywhere. I do up. Okay, that's up. I think I can go all the way around. Yeah. Alright, so where do I want to go now? I suppose I go north. No. Back to the entrance hall. Is it this way? No, it's this way. Should I eat these? Not yet. I'll be back. Let's go this way. I'm hoping for a showroom. I would very much like to get a silver spoon. Oh. Alright. Another library. Yeah, okay. So now we have the book. Let's go through it. Well, it's been a while. Feb 1st. Redford Yuling. I'm going to bring up on my other screen my notes. Curse of Black Bridge. I'm not going to put them on the screen. I'm just going to kind of refer to it to see if I've noted down everything that I find important as I go through. It's too bad that I don't have the there we go, proper pointer. It's too bad that I don't have the magnifying glass, but I'm not sure if I need it in this book. The Curse of Black Bridge, no publication date. The Legend of Black Bridge is one that's well known to the people of the Grand Realm. Versions of this tale have been passed down from generation to generation. With each new telling, the story has changed, becoming over the years more colourful, more verbose, and, as one might expect, increasingly horrifying. However, with so many renditions and unique personal touches, the task of confining and binding this tale to text seemed an ambitious and impossible challenge. Over the course of my research, I've heard dozens of variations of the legend, and while the details would often change, I was surprised by how much of the story's heart remained the same. Yet the more I listened, the clearer it became that there could never be a definitive version of this tale capable of capturing all the wonder and myth of Black Bridge. In the end, I chose to write down what felt most authentic, the story my grandmother told me as a boy long ago. I feel like that's very biased, but okay. I didn't actually write anything about the foreword in here, so maybe I will just scribble a little bit down. So, in the foreword, he says there are lots of versions of the story with different details, but all with the same heart. He's writing down the version that his grandmother taught him. I think that's about it. Alright, so here's some holly, which is a little bit relevant. Because I believe that the private land may have been this fairyland. But he's the berry picker from Oris. Part 1 has an illustration of some holly. The berry picker from Oris. Okay, many years ago, before peace had become a familiar word, there lived a group of rogues so wayward that the locals deemed it appropriate to call their number the Unholy Hounds. They were feral outlaws composed of society's worst, in a time when society was at its worst, and for each crime that fearful travellers credited to the group, a dozen more lay unclaimed, each worse than the last. For the gentry, however, who often value their coffers more than their companions, no crime could measure more wicked than the group's primary enterprise, high road robbery. One such member of this so-called band of rogues was a boy of 13 years, Jesper, who had not been lucky in life, having lost 2 brothers to war and parents to famine. In the years of hunger that followed, Jesper lived in a gutter behind a churchyard, relying on the nourishment of scurrying bugs and weeds harvested from the cracks of the alleyway to sustain his pitiful existence. It is not surprising that a child aiming to escape such hardships would take any easy road out. An easy and well-travelled road, paved with temptations, leading out of the city and into the gentry lands whose loose purse strings entwine with the strands of salvation and glisten equally with the hope of opportunity. It was this road that eventually led Jesper to the end of his youth, a hidden cave at the bottom of Black Bridge Canyon. It was here that he met his surrogate family and saviors, that notorious gang of godless outlaws known as the Unholy Hounds. Despite the hardened circumstances that had led him to this vocation of banditry, Jesper was surprisingly tender-hearted and was often teased by the group for being too kind for such an ignoble life. For this reason, Jesper was assigned the innocent role of berry picker. It was not just innocence that set berry picking apart from the gang's more wicked undertakings, for it was the only duty performed without the safety of night's concealment. Jesper, no stranger to solitude, did not protest that he alone worked while the others slept soundly, tucked away in the cave at the bottom of Black Bridge Canyon. On one such occasion, Jesper decided to get an early start. He left the cave, berry basket in hand, and set out into the woods before the morning sun had even brushed against the tallest treetops. It was colder in the mornings, but the headway dawn afforded meant Jesper could reach the furthermost berry patches without worry of being chastised for tarrying upon his return. It took over 3 hours on foot to reach his destination, and along the way, Jesper had passed by many a familiar bush, all priorly pillaged and so bereft of berries that one would have to dedicate several moments in earnest examination before finding a single one. Jesper was patient, but even patience has its limits. He was confident that even accounting for the time lost to this long stretch of travel, his efforts would be well worth the pains. Surveying the patches in this new grove surprised even Jesper. The red dots suspended among the leaves seemed as numerous as stars in the skies. This makes me think that I might get a... When it said there's one more, there's at least one more constellation that I haven't had yet, beyond the Inkwell. I have to wonder if one's going to be Holly. That would be interesting. Upon seeing such a bounteous sight, he clutched his berry basket tightly and nearly toppled over out of joy. Once he had regained his senses, Jesper quickly made a decision. He would not reveal the location of this newfound treasure. Instead, he would earn the respect of his confederates who, upon seeing his yield, might attribute the success to hard work. Smiling at his plan, Jesper set off to fill his basket and was making steady strides in this task when the sound of thundering hooves interrupted him. Here he is, picking berries. He sees quite a lot. Pretty nice cloak. What do I see here? Can't really tell. I guess this is the forest path. Let me just have a quick look at my notes. Yeah, everything up to here I've summarized quite briefly, and I think that's fair. I don't think there's any little details here that are going to be massively important, though I could totally be wrong. Alright, a carriage! A carriage is approaching. The thought of it made Jesper freeze. Had he been so enchanted by his discovery that he had neglected to observe his surroundings? How could a roadway be so close? I mean, isn't that it? He ducked down and crept toward the impending sound, hiding behind one of the larger bushes nearby. Sure enough, he's right by a road. It was only a moment before the sound's source revealed itself. Within 50 paces of where Jesper hid, an elegant carriage with gold trim came soaring around the corner of trees, led by 2 beautiful white horses and conveyed by a stern-looking driver seated atop the vehicle, flaunting the most sophisticated regalia Jesper had ever seen. It was not just any carriage, it was a royal carriage. Even without ever having witnessed such a sight before, Jesper was certain. The sight had so transfixed Jesper that he stood awestruck, unable to tear away as the carriage approached. The little concealment the bush provided was soon proven unequal to the driver's lofty perch, and upon spotting the boy, he pulled the reins with such effect that the noble steeds slid to a sudden halt with precise control. "You, boy, get out from behind that bush," he shouted with a rigidity that betrayed a modest amount of fear. "You startled me half to death, coming round the bend of my own drive, and me seeing such an unfamiliar face in a place where there ought not be any face." Jesper quickly contemplated running, The man was much older, and his dress was suitable for courtly behaviour, not dashing through the bramble and mud. I was just picking berries. I was picking berries. Jesper raised the half-filled basket up to allow the driver to see the proof of his words. The demeanour of the man suddenly changed. It was a change that Jesper was familiar with. He had many times seen the same stern expressions on the most fiendish bandits melt away when presented with a berry basket. Any suspicions that the driver might have had instantly evaporated, for even the notion of a member of the unholy hounds picking berries seemed farcical. How are they going to eat? The softened expression even made allowances for a smile. Berries, eh? Say, you couldn't have picked a better spot for them, could you? I used to pick berries here as a boy. Jesper took his cue to finally step forward out from behind the bush, proudly brandishing his basket. I know, and what luck I found them. I've only just begun picking, and look how many I have. It would have taken me fourfold the time back home to procure this number. The driver bent down for a closer look. And where is your home, boy? It must be quite far. Now, did it mention which way he went? Unholy hounds, too kind, no stranger. Get an early start. He left the cave, blah, 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 set out into the woods. It does not say which way he went. 3 hours on foot. Okay, I'm going to note that down. Over 3 hours by foot. So I did say this one day to travel over 3 hours by foot. Travel further 3 hours by foot. It says that he left the cave and set out into the woods. In terms of direction, doesn't say which direction he went, but it does say he left the cave and set out into the woods. Okay. Where were we? Ah, the driver bent down for a closer look. And where is your home, boy? It must be quite far. Jesper replied with a scripted response. A little south of Tanner Fork, just past the burnt woods. My God, that is far. You couldn't have come all that way only this morning. It was true. Tanner Fork was in the exact opposite direction that Jesper had travelled. Now, have I written this down? Jesper... Oh, hang on. No, gone too far. A little south of Tanner Fork, just past the burnt woods, but in fact Blackbridge Canyon, where he lived, was in the opposite direction. So, from this spot, Tanner Fork is one way, and Blackbridge is the other way. That makes me want to look at a map. Let's dust off the old notes cam, which I think is this button. Oh, there we go, yeah. Let's see if... what do I have here? That's the train map. How am I going to find this? Oh, geography is just a couple pages ahead, I see. Right. This might be what I'm looking for. I don't know if you can really see that. Oh, the light is a bit strong, isn't it? There, that's a bit better. This isn't the best map. So Orris is south, Reddington is there, but on this map I don't know where Tanner Fork is. So it's the Reddington map that I want, really. This says a reservoir map. Yeah, that's not going to help me right now. I could pull up screenshots probably. Where's the library? Man, this is a long time ago. Library. Drafting strategy. The Sightseer's Guide to Reddington. I did not draw a map. So, one moment while I attempt to pull up a screenshot. Got that figured out, so I can now pull up the screenshots on top of this. Let's see, so these are old screenshots that I've actually not looked at in a very long time. Oh. Yeah, not looked at that in a while. Yeah, this is the map I was looking for. That's a bit small for you. Can I zoom that in? Ah, I can. Excellent. So, let's see. If he is saying Tanner Fork was the opposite direction, and we were assuming that he's here, Mount Holly, I kind of thought this might be the Black Bridge. So, hang on, what's he saying again? A little south of Tanner Fork, just past the burnt woods. South of Tanner Fork. Are these some of the woods? I don't know. Past the burnt woods. That is far. You can kind of. It was true. Tanner Fork was in the exact opposite direction that Jesper had travelled. And while that response would seem perfectly reasonable in a location closer to Black Bridge Canyon, he could not see. He could see why it might seem less believable here. So maybe this isn't Black Bridge, because this looks to be an active river, whereas Canyon suggests that either it's a smaller river. I mean, it's a canyon that they can walk through, right? There's the dry riverbed that later in the story he takes the carriage back to. So I have a feeling that's not on this map. Let's go through some more, just to see if there's anything that I want to look at while we're here. Right, there's this map as well. And I don't think I'm getting anything from this. Like, all of this stuff is in this sort of region, I think. Turning east. So they've gone west at some point. Did I ever figure out what any of this means? I did not. Although, look at how this is laid out. SIX underscore underscore. That reminds me of castle down here, and then all of the underscores. Two and 5 is 7. Oops. Can I do both at the same time? Yes, I can. I haven't written this down. Locker room. So I have written this already here. Four, 9, 13. Yeah, I don't know how I can map this onto that castle thing. So maybe never mind. Yeah, okay, next. What else we got? Roman Rune, I've got all of that, but I'm not going to go through that right now. There's that. May the Black Shores guide us. Right, this was in the safe house. That is what I think was the major key on a wall. And I'm still pretty lost about it. I have this vague notion that it might be something to do with the puzzle in the study, since the Queen is casting shade on 8E, or E8. But I don't know what to do with that. Right, we had the heist plan. That's not her writing, is it? The metro. Which might be interesting to overlay on the map. 8 is Royal Station. And you were here. Yeah, Royal Station, yeah. So it does seem a lot like Castle Arindia is what's buried here. We've got Manning and White at a press function. Picture in the safe house. Still can't really tell where they are in that. It looks like an office of some kind. The lighting and posters on, notice boards on walls and that kind of thing. Right, got the exam questions. Right, this is the tiny letter in the tiny safe. Oh, we're here again. And so I don't think there's a new clue. Oh, I was talking about this last time. I do want to have a quick look at this. I kind of wanted to wait to get it in the library again, but now that it's on screen. Okay, look, there's a rook. There's a rook, which I had written about, and it's next to Orinda, the paragon of royalty. It's next to some brick-looking things. This kind of looks a bit... Oops, wrong button. This kind of looks a bit chessboardy, like the one down below. Got one of these fancy things. So maybe these are all... Maybe these are all things that I need to investigate to go further. So these open secret doors. This also opened a secret door down in the tomb. When I pulled these things in the right order. This stuff might be talking about chess. I mean, this does look a lot like that one down below. These bricks also look a bit broken, like I had to smash walls. It could be to do with that. This, I don't know what this is. It could be something like in the foundation. It could be something like down in the reservoir. I don't know what else it could be. And then the rook. It could be talking about the chess puzzle. It could be talking about castling. Let's keep going. No chess pieces there, although these fruits are still a little bit suspicious. Right here, Laura's word, Jorah's name. I know this. Gates and gates. I know what that's telling me now. That's to do with the with the drafting room, drawing room. Then Mary Mary. I haven't done anything with that. And I don't know what I'm supposed to do with that. Right. Draft the sixes. These are just anagrams. And I don't think it's giving me anything different. Anything else, I mean. This now is the... This is saying smash the thing in the entrance hall. He's sitting in the entrance hall looking at a blueprint. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then rank 10 is this huge room for some reason. This is almost... It almost looks like it's telling me that there's more to room 46, and then what's this up here? It makes me want to try to get room 46 out in the outer room. What else? We've got this. I don't know, there's just a bunch of people with hats. And here, look, there's a king. There is a king. Major. Small name. And we've got dead end, major key. Dead end points to C there. I don't know why. We've got the ballroom picture, the safe house picture, and the shelter picture. Ballroom, safe house, shelter. I don't know what to do with that. And this was clues to the metro thing, which I think is all solved. And then here, this stuff I have not quite figured out. I've got... Here's a miner, here's a driver. I guess this is the murder board, right? The suspects. Here's the chef. This looks like some kind of creepy... what's that old movie called? The Blair Witch Project kind of thing. I don't know what's going on here. This looks like a maid. There's a miner. Was that a miner? This is definitely a miner. Don't know who they are. We've got... maybe it's another maid, or maybe it's one of the paragons. Don't know who that is. Then we've got the suspect is minor, and this is true. So suspect is minor. Is that like a minor character, or small, or overlooked, or something? And then we've got in red printed, so this is false, the suspect is minor. So the suspect is not a minor. But then we've got another true one. The suspect, I assume, is major. And this could mean small name, or it could mean the rank major, or it could mean something major, but that would disagree with this, right? So it doesn't mean something major in terms of magnitude. It means either the rank or small name. And then we've got the suspect is a key. Am I supposed to look at the homonym? A key? Is there anything in my notes about an ache? Beginning of word, ache. No, there is not. So, Nicholas Key the Fourth. Nicholas Key IV. AIV. I don't know. I still don't know. Anyway, I think I'm stuck on that. Going to move on. So got this one here, where we have these cuckoo clocks, which were left for the cousins or whatever. Got 2 of the paragons, I think. And these are the anagrammed book names. I don't know what to make of it. Oh look, and then I've got Major Nicholas Key IV. Dead cases. I think I have dealt with that. Suspect list. Small name. Bowley. That's the smallest name. And we've got Rose Barley. Barley and Bowley. I'm going to add to my to-do list. Try Bowley, try Rose Barley, and I'll try different sort of versions of those things. Oop, wrong button. I'll try different versions of those. For the Blackbridge login. Rhonda Mayford, Sandra Dillon. Yeah, don't know. Dead End. Something about Major Key. And I think that's dealt with. Got Red Prince. Got the Fixed Stars. Got Samantha Hayes. Close to grounds access. Drop off for the moonshine or whatever. There's Blackbridge Hotel and Spa. So this really suggests that Arinda Aries still exists somewhere. I think this is Bridget, and I don't know her name. For some reason I was thinking her name was Rose, but I don't know that for sure. Now here's Curse of Blackbridge, which I'm currently reading. So, spoilers for what we're about to see. Yes. Stuck on that. We've got this Sleep Diary. Gardener's Logbook. I haven't read that in a while, actually. Right, there was an upgrade disc in the trading post behind the wall. So that suggests to me heavily that the last upgrade disc is going to be in a hidden place that I haven't found yet, rather than something that could be randomly allocated to me as a special item. So I think we're going to have to find it somewhere. I've still got to figure these out. Need to find multiple meanings in each seasonal greeting. I mean, what other meaning can I find from greetings from Reddington? It's about time you visit Mount Holly, and then the clock on there is 1:30. So this is just saying it's about time. Do time-related things. Maybe 1:30 does more than I realize. This one, I do think probably does mean more than I can see. I thought it might be something to do with the well, but I don't know. I don't know how. Merry Christmas. Stay safe this holiday season. This is just a clue for the boudoir safe, isn't it? And I'm stumped. I believe is a clue for the orchard. Got Sightsee Sky to Reddington. Got that map again. Seem to have many copies of this map. More Sanctum stuff. The deed. And the will. Some underpass stuff. I don't remember where this was. Was this in the planetarium, maybe? Yeah, I think so. Castle Orindia. What am I looking at there? Oh, I think that's, yeah, in the tunnel. This is still a bit mysterious, isn't it? And no sign. And she's underlined that in blue. Very mysterious. Investor needed. And I think I'm back at the beginning. So, very long aside there, just to look at the map. And yeah, I don't know what to take from it, is the takeaway that isn't a takeaway. Okay, so I'm going to keep reading. It was true, Tanner Fork was in the exact opposite direction that Jesper had travelled, and while that response would seem perfectly reasonable in a location closer to Blackbridge Canyon, he could see why it might seem less believable here. Sir, I have travelled much farther, for much less profit. I dare say there is no distance yet made by man that would not be worth undertaking for a prize such as these. Surely you have tasted them for yourself. Jesper felt happier with this response, as it seemed to amplify the man's smile. In my youth often, but perhaps I took it for granted because I never had to travel very far. And even then my father would always drive us here in our carriage, so I'm ashamed I never had to walk such a stretch to earn an equal reward. It was Jesper's time to smile. Then let my efforts reward us both today. He raised the basket even higher. A taste in memory of your youth, sir. The driver chuckled and removed one glove, bending over the seat to reach down to the basket. And at the moment his fingers touched the first berry, the dagger in turn met his throat, cutting through a superficial layer of skin and drawing blood. Jesper caught the man's startled eyes. And for that taste I will have your purse, sir, in memory of my youth. The driver's arm had gone stiff, his chin raised and trembling, more frightened than he had ever been before. Whether unable or incapable of speaking, he did not respond to the boy. Perhaps he did not think his jaw could afford to be engaged at this particular time. Jesper let the basket drop, freeing his other hand to probe the man's pockets. Do not mistake me, sir. I will not kill you if you give me no cause, though I will admit the thought of taking your carriage and leaving you the indignity of walking appeals to me. Unable to find a purse in the man's coat, Jesper pivoted to search the seat under him. Why have you no purse upon your person? The driver slowly raised his hand cautiously, pointing toward the carriage door behind him. Jasper lowered the knife's edge to a small. Jasper lowered the knife's edge a small degree to allow the man to speak, which he did in turn softly. There's a lockbox in the carriage. Well, come down then, and grant me the courtesy of sparing your life and binding your hands, a concession I assure you of my tender heart, for it would be much easier to slit your throat. The man started to comply, slowly lowering himself from the driver's seat of the carriage. Once down, Jasper guided him away from the carriage to a nearby tree, where he instructed him to get on his knees and put his hands behind his back. Excusing his inexperience, the man indulged Jasper while he figured out how to adequately bind him. The smile and kindness Jasper had seen on the man's face, now nothing more than a distant memory. In their place, cold, dark eyes displaying no emotion. I wonder, should I grant you the same clemency you are showing me? Jasper stopped, surprised by the question, but ignored it, secured the final bindings, and then hastily returned to the carriage. With one hand on the door's handle, he turned back to the man. If there is no lockbox, there will be no clemency. Inside, the carriage was surprisingly dusty and unswept, a stark contrast to the elegant and polished golden facade of the exterior. It had apparently been many years since a passenger had enjoyed passage in this vehicle. This all but confirmed what Jasper had suspected. The driver of this carriage was not a liveried servant. What does that mean? Let's find out. Designating ownership? Wearing a livery. And a livery is an identifying design as on a vehicle that designates ownership. Or it can be a servant's uniform, or a badge of some kind, or distinctive dress. Okay. Where were they? This all but confirmed what Jasper had suspected. The driver of this carriage was not a liveried servant in the employ of some greater master. Any curiosity that this observation might have further produced was quickly abandoned upon seeing what rested under the carriage's back seat, a large wooden lockbox. So I'm supposed to not abandon curiosity here. I think I'm supposed to read further into this and say this was a member of the royal family. This was probably could be one of the Desolates or one of their descendants, I suppose. I think this story probably is back from that era. It's called Black Bridge, so it's probably the bridge in or out of Orinda Aries, or just somewhere within Orinda Aries, I suppose. So yeah, I think this was Oris or Desolates 1, 2, or 3, or 4. Despite its hefty appearance, the box was surprisingly easy to handle. Within a few minutes, Jasper had dislodged it from its hold and carried it into the sunlight. Inspecting the box carefully, 2 observations were made. Totemic symbols found carved on all 4 sides of the box hinted the box was very old and likely not created by Orindian hands. So yes, we are in Orinda Aries, I think. It reminded him of artifacts from the old world. How old? And was presumably crafted in one of the ancient realms. So are we in fact in Fen Aries? He's from Oris. That's all we know from back here, I think. The Grand Realm. What's the Grand Realm? Okay, moving on. Secondly, the box was secured by a rusted yet robust padlock and would not open easily without a key. Jasper looked over to see the driver quietly observing him from his indentured position. Do you perhaps have a key that you can provide me to open this box? Without emotion, the driver replied, "There is no key to that box." Jasper stood up. Easy enough then. He headed over to a nearby rock of sizable dimensions and lifted the stone up, carrying it back to the box. If there was ever a time when that lock had been resistant to brute force, it wasn't recent. With one hit, he said it was sturdy, robust. Rusted yet robust. Doesn't seem that robust. It wasn't recent. With one hit, the stone had completely shattered the rusted lock. He bent back down and opened the lid. Inside was an effigy, a crude figure chiseled from stone. Without too much deliberation, Jasper bent down and picked it up, somewhat surprised how heavy it seemed, given how light the box had felt. Having expected to find something more akin to gold or gems, he looked questioningly to the man, hoping to find an explanation. The driver's smile had once again returned. "You are cursed, boy, for deadly is the stone. You have opened that which should never have been opened. You are cursed." Jasper carried the effigy over to the man and shoved it in front of his face. "What is it?" "That's one." Feeling his disappointment rising to anger now, Jasper tightened his grip on the effigy. "One what, you mumbling agentor? Do I know that word?" First, I have Tor anti-clockwise. Yeah, don't know what that is. "And in God's name, why have you no purse upon your person?" The man did not seem intimidated. "One pace." He paused to reflect. 12 more and you will be dead." He only had a second to flinch before the effigy struck him in the head and put an end to his cryptic ramblings. If there was ever a time when the old man had been resistant to brute force, it wasn't recent. Jasper looked down at the sculpted stone figure, now splattered red. Was it cursed? Was he cursed? He had, of course, heard stories of curses and had never doubted their validity in the past. But now that he was standing face to face with the possibility of being cursed, his mind pleaded with him to be skeptical. And if he was cursed, what difference would the knowledge make? A dozen more paces would not be enough to find another living soul, to say nothing of the chances of procuring a remedy. If he did not move from where he now stood, he could live maybe another 3 or 4 days, maybe more given the abundance of nearby berries. A plan that, if we ignore its obvious faults, might provide additional opportunities for help to come along. But what good would that do? To be discovered here, beside a body, stolen goods in hand, bloated from berries, and raving about a curse that could very well not be real. No, it would most certainly be better to face one's fate now, take a dozen paces and see if life goes on. But Jasper found his legs unable to make that first step. Second step, his mind was unable to convince his limb to waste away 1/12 of his life in a single motion. Feeling the desperation sink in, he hopelessly looked about him for a solution, and if, by some stroke of luck, the gods had heard his plea... Oh, yeah, there's a dash there. A miracle materialized before him, as if he found himself suddenly at the end of a fairy tale. 2 white horses and a carriage of golden trim were beside him, the answer to his immediate prayers. He laughed at his fortune and calculated the short number of paces back to the road. 4, perhaps only 3 if he jumped. He made a quick survey to see if there was anything he wished to grab before taking the plunge. Look at this guy. Pretty serious beard. Nice hat. He thought about removing the driver's fancy coat, as that appeared to be of some value. But the additional risk of undertaking such a task, too great to chance. That's slightly weird wording, I think. And so, after a profound breath, he took his second, third, and fourth steps, though they were quite large. Oops, wrong button. Seated now behind the horses, he reached for the reins and suddenly realized that he was still gripping the effigy. If the curse was real, then it would most certainly be better left here. If, on the other hand, the story was fictitious, there might be some appraisal that could be made of the figure. It was, after all, found within a lockbox, whose typical function oft secures objects of value. Having witnessed firsthand the horrors of destitution, Jasper found his mind equally reluctant to allow his hand to let go. If it is cursed, I die. If not today, then tomorrow. And if I die, what care have I? And with that statement said aloud, to the horses seemingly, Jasper took up the reins with confidence. And then I believe we move on to part 2. Yes, below the Black Bridge. Go back to my notes. Curse of Black Bridge. And so he takes the effigy and the carriage. Okay, part 2, below the Black Bridge. Miller awoke to some light nudging from a familiar foot. Only one person would have the cheek to awaken her in such an ill-mannered fashion. Shaking the sleep from her eyes, she glared up at him in the darkness, but did not say a word. He nudged her again, teasingly, and then stepped back into the dim. One person. He nudged her again. I've written in my notes that it's 2 of the bandit girls. I'll come back to that if I find that I need to adjust it. After taking a moment for her eyes to adjust to the darkness of the cave, Miller remembered. She was on third watch today. Quietly collecting her things and wits, Miller turned as she left, waving to her young friend, who was more than likely already asleep. Oh, okay, yeah, I think I probably was right. She crept through the cavern's main passage, careful to not wake the sleeping bandits around her, like a hero in a book, she often mused. Quietly, she grabbed a bow from the haphazardly formed pile of weapons, shaking the accompanying quiver in the darkness to assess how many arrows it held. She then walked towards the sun-drenched mouth of the cavern, ready to start her shift. Above her, in one of the few trees found in the canyon, Miller could see that Ravia was already posted. She waved. Ravia waved back. Now, is Ravia anywhere else? No. Ravia waved back. Calling out to each other was strictly forbidden. Anything louder than a gesture in the canyon was forbidden. When Miller reached the tree, Ravia lowered a braided rope and pointed to the ground behind her. Miller turned, following her finger, and saw a pail of water resting beside a nearby log. She turned back to Ravia, nodded, and secured the pail to the rope. The pail went up first, and in turn Miller followed. Ravia reached across to grab the water. Miller leaned back to give her space. There was not much room for manoeuvring in this tree post, a necessary concession for the concealment the outpost demanded. Ravia tilted the pail up to her mouth dramatically, illustrating how thirsty she had been. Miller laughed silently as the water poured out, splashing onto Ravia's face. It was a bit too daring and noisy of a joke, and had the others been around, they would have certainly been scolded for the unwarranted sound, but Miller appreciated the efforts Ravia took to verbalize the silence of the morning. They had been on third watch together for over a month, and during that speechless time their friendship had grown into something special. Affection was unsurprisingly scarce among the unholy hounds. She had felt camaraderie before, of course, but intimacy, never. From their elevated vantage, the girls could see both the concealed entrance of the cavern, as well as a clear view of the bridge that spanned across the canyon. Black Bridge was the link between the Gentry lands and the northern mountains. The overpass that connected Orris and Reddington. Okay. We bring up the this again. And we look for one of those maps. Like this. So, Reddington is here. And this is, what did it say? The link between the Gentry lands and the northern mountains. The overpass that connected Orris and Reddington. So, they're referring to the mountains of Reddington as the northern mountains. It's the overpass that connects Orris and Reddington. And he talks about Tanner Fork as being the opposite direction. From Blackbridge to Tanner Fork is the opposite direction as from Blackbridge to where the story is taking place, where the rich person, the gentry, the royal person is. So where's that on the map? Here. So, between Orris and Reddington, there is somewhere here, Blackbridge. And I also want to look. So the northern mountains are in this area. There's Mount Holly. There's Angel Tower and Mount Perma's like around here somewhere. Orris is here. The link between the Gentry lands and the northern mountains connected Orris and Reddington. So is this saying that Orris is the Gentry lands? Or that Reddington is the Gentry lands? Orris is not mountainous, as far as I'm aware. Reddington is. So is this written once... I think this is written once the capital has moved from Reddington to Orris, which was during the time of Desolates III, I think. That is my current understanding. And then a Rogers over here. Do I also have... yeah, this. So if this is Reddington, this is Royal Stations, this is where I am right now. Not Reddington, the Mount Holly estate. We've got Mainway Station here. 10 is Tanner Fork. Okay, then 1 Orris Train Hall. So this is all in one area. Canyon Pass, 15. Canyon Pass. So that suggests that this is where Black Bridge might be, or at least the canyon runs along here somewhere. So, okay, Orris here. Tanner Fork here. So if this is Black Bridge, and I know this is just a diagram, right? This is a... what's the word? It's a graph rather than an actual map. That's how these subway things are done. So it might not be entirely to scale, although it is showing the lakes in what looks like regular scale. So if this is indeed Orris here, Black Bridge here, and Black Bridge is connecting the Gentry land to... connected Orris and Reddington. So that would suggest that, yeah, you've got to if you're over land, not in these train tunnels, I guess, you've got to kind of come this way and then this way in order to cross it. Perhaps. What else is it saying? The bridge was an unavoidable crossing. Link between the Gentry lands and the northern mountains. Okay, so where was I? Tanner Fork. They say when they get seen by people, they say they're from just south of Tanner Fork, just past the burnt forest. So maybe that's around here somewhere when they're actually here. And so for I think he's actually gone east from Black Bridge. In order for Tanner Fork to be the opposite direction, he would have to be over here somewhere. So perhaps we are not, in fact, in the Mount Holly estate. Well, let's move on. To the city-faring travellers of the realm, the bridge was an unavoidable crossing. In the day, the task was to ensure that travellers passed by without stopping. At night, the task was to ensure that they do. Like most of her band, Mela preferred the night. The biting glare of the sun might be tolerable to farmhands and bricklayers, but to a cavern-housed bandit, it was a source of constant annoyance. In the day, there was no shroud to conceal her expressions, nor to hide her thoughts. She felt exposed. So I guess that's their cave. There's the Black Bridge, and they're hiding in maybe one of these trees. Ravia touched her elbow and pointed up. Mela, striving to suppress a budding smile, is that it being touched? I guess it is, subtly shook her head in response. There were many signs that the unholy hounds used in lieu of words, but the two of them had developed an extended vocabulary, gestures quietly forged in the shared solitude of their month among the branches. She watched as Ravia shifted, placing her palms flat on the floorboards beneath them. So they've actually built a sort of a treehouse up here, not just sitting in the branches. Mela knew what she was trying to say, but shook her head a second time. It was often more fun to pretend not to understand. Ravia rolled her eyes and turned away, looking back to the canyon. Squinting through the leaves, the two girls held still, watching and listening. It was not long until Mela too heard the sounds of approach. Ravia held up two bent fingers, and a few moments later 2 men emerged from the bridge's southern end. So 2 bent fingers, I guess, is 2 people walking. They were dressed in a familiar uniform, long grey coats with black facings, white waistcoats, and a black tricorn hat. They belonged to the local patrol, the Black Guard. Okay, so now that we have Fen Ares, we have the Red Guard. So I suppose the Black Guard is what predated that. Let me check if I've written something about tricorn hats. Yes, I have. Although not an everyday occurrence, their presence at Blackbridge wasn't an unusual sight. It typically indicated an important traveller's impending passage across the bridge, information that the girls would promptly relay to their leaders as soon as the coast was clear. But this report, while exciting, was rarely acted upon. In Mela's 5 years in the Unholy Hounds, she had never once seen a carriage taken in open daylight when the Blackguard was nearby. So here they are, here's the Blackguard. Now, what I think I hadn't realised on prior readings of this book, my lips are super dry. I think what I hadn't realised in prior readings is that the important person that they are sort of walking ahead of to make sure the coast is clear is probably the king in the carriage. What's his name? Jasper has killed. So they were probably in advance of him, clearing the way, unaware that he's been killed behind him. The men had nearly reached the bridge's north end. Okay. When Miller heard the horses, faintly at first, but growing louder with each passing moment. Ravi's eyes met Miller's, the same concern mirrored in each other's expression. This did not sound like the typical carriage, cautiously approaching the bridge to cross. Instead, hang on. Were they already on the bridge? Okay, they came from south, they're going north. Does that make sense with what I was saying here? So if he's the opposite direction from Tanner Fork, yeah, he's coming from up here. So these men are coming the same way, from south to north. This did not sound like the typical carriage cautiously approaching the bridge to cross. Instead of the familiar crunch of the high road's gravel, they heard the harsh clattering of hoofbeats against stone. Both girls quickly redirected their attention downwards, looking through the foliage. The sounds were not coming from the high road, but from the canyon itself. The horses were coming from below the bridge. In an instant, Miller had nocked an arrow and drawn her bow. Go! Ravi was gone before the whisper had even left Miller's mouth. The young scout was already sliding down the bank below, racing toward the cave. There was no road that ran below the canyon. There was no reason for numerous horses to be approaching their cave. There was only one reasonable conclusion, and both girls had reached it instantly. The base had been compromised. This was a blackguard attack. They're wrong. The moment the horses came into view, Miller let loose her first arrow. She was surprised to see a carriage. She had expected cavalry. Before she even finished processing that thought, her second arrow was in the air. Without a trail, it would be unthinkable for a carriage to traverse such rough terrain. Yet she watched as the wheels jolted over the rocky riverbed. A third arrow was now in flight. I mean, Jasper's pretty stupid bringing the carriage there. It's just going to draw attention, isn't it? What an idiot. He feels like he doesn't have a choice since he thinks he's going to die if he takes more than 12 steps. Without a trail, it would be unthinkable for a carriage to traverse such rough terrain, yet she watched as the wheels jolted over the rocky riverbed. A third arrow was now in flight, and there would be no need for a fourth. The driver slumped over just moments before the vehicle dipped into a small ditch, slamming into an embankment. The force of this sudden halt immediately shattered the front two wheels and catapulted the driver from his seat. Utterly confused now, Miller quickly glanced over her shoulder to see if any horses were also approaching from the rear. Down in the canyon, the entire horde of the unholy hounds came spilling forth from the earth, as if hell itself had suddenly sprung open. The group seemed even more bewildered than Miller, half asleep and tripping over one another in a desperate attempt to engage an unseen enemy in combat. Miller could see Ravia among their number, the only one looking up at her. Her expression was chilling. There would be no need for a silent gesture to convey what they both now realized. They had made a mistake. The gang's chieftain, Jeffrey Heartslasher, led the others, cautiously approaching the gang's chieftain Jeffrey Heartslasher led the others, cautiously approaching the crashed carriage like a suspicious fox would near a baited trap. There were no words exchanged as the group crept forward in customary silence. A dozen or so paces in front of the wreckage lay the far-flung driver, an arrow protruding from his broken body, and beside him, a bloody, stained effigy carved from stone. So I guess we're left to interpret whether he died because of the curse, or whether it's all just bad luck. Miller was inconsolable. Jasper had always been her favourite. He had always shadowed her in the night, clinging to the hems of her every move, the way a child tails behind an older sibling. Tender-hearted, she had always called him, though deep down she had known that wasn't quite true. His appearance of gentleness concealed a raw, resilient durability that emerged in the most perilous of situations. He had been a flower among the nettles of this cave, but he still had thorns honed by a grim past and 100 hands of misfortune. They buried him in the darkness, in the back of one of the larger cavern rooms. He was interred with a berry basket and a silk handkerchief that he had treasured. I'm trying to think if there's been any handkerchief in the game which has looked interesting, but no, I don't think so. The mysterious effigy they had found beside him served as a distinguished gravestone, a marker that stood out as somewhat special among the rows of similar swords marking neighbouring plots. No one spoke, not even in whispers. There was nothing to say. So, they've got an Orinda Aries symbol here. So if they buried him in the cave, says that, right? Buried him in the darkness, in the back of one of the larger cavern rooms. They had to go outside to get him, and they picked up the effigy and walked it back in. That says to me that somebody picked that up and walked more than 13 steps. That says to me that that curse is nonsense. Or it's not exactly 13 steps, maybe it's 30 steps or something else. Miller awoke the next day to a thunderous shaking and rattling of the earth, a far cry from the playful nudging of the previous day. She strained to adjust her eyes, but the choking sting of stirred-up dust caused her to flinch. Panic was also in the air. The sounds of scurried footsteps and clattering feet filled the space around her. But even in alarm, the silence was louder. What was it that sounded so strange? Miller closed her eyes tight and used her feet to guide her along the passage. The whispers around her were getting louder, and intense voices could be heard ahead, louder speech than she had ever heard spoken in the canyon. A growing dread grew as Miller approached the mouth of the cave, her eyes now open wide despite the dust. Shouldn't it be day? Miller felt a hand in the darkness, pulling at her. It was Ravia. The two embraced, and Miller did not need to see her to understand. Ravia placed two bent fingers against Miller's cheek, and with that touch against her face, Miller felt the same sinking feeling from the previous day. Two bent fingers confirmed what Miller had suspected. The girls had forgotten to relay one critical piece of information to the others. An hour or so later, the screams began. Blood-curdling cries of hopeless desperation. Captain Fodrick Lee of the Blackguard looked down from the ridge of the canyon to the collapsed entrance of the cave. Ah, he grinned. Now they speak. Pretty savage. And that is the end of the book. So, I have the new sort of idea there that that the curse might be nonsense. Right, I did mark that that's got an Orinda Aries symbol on it. Given that they took the effigy from outside to inside, back of one of the larger caves, is that how it's worded? In the back of one of the larger cavern rooms. Someone surely had to carry it more than 13 steps. And there's no mention of the bandits dropping dead. Don't know if they're all kids. Probably some of them are adults. So, yeah. Okay, and I think I don't have much else to take from this. Now they speak. The Blackguard are kind of douches, although I guess they were robbing people, but you know, they deserved to be able to live lives at least. The Curse of Black Bridge by Redford Uling. Redford. Do I have anything else about Redford? Or Uling? No. Okay. Thank you, library number 2. So that was a lot longer than expected. I'm already at, oh man, I'm already at hour 40. Okay, let's see. What else have we got here? Spare bedroom. I'd kind of like to grab further north. I'm a little bit worried about getting into the foundation, although I suppose I can get there from outside. Can I? I don't have the elevator. But yes, I can go down the well if I need to. So what I can do is rotate and point the classroom a different way so we can see more rooms and get to the east wing. Okay, grade 2. Look for items on desks. No items on desks. Do I want the apple? I'm not going to take it. I'm hoping for a hallway or something else with 3 doors. I can get 6 redraws to find it, so I think I will. Security would be acceptable. That's probably a good idea. I could start an experiment. Items? No. Let's remind myself about what these are. Right. Okay. Let's view the inventory. There are fruit. Keycard system. Do I have a keycard? I don't think I do. Wait. What was my reward? Oh, silver key. Silver key. So let's set this to low for now. Let's set offline mode to unlocked in case I need it. Back to the security menu. Let's log into the network. Let's ask for some shoes. Compass is pretty neat too, isn't it? Shoes. Let's hope for a new announcement. No new announcement. That's too bad. We've done that. Nothing to do here. Network menu. Didn't think so. Let's RTA to the lab. Could spread money, but I don't need the money. Let's set up an experiment. Yes, we shall continue. Dirt on driveway, keys, or lockpicking skills. I'll take the lockpicking skills. 10 times you view your map, lose 10 steps, and... I'm tempted. I could potentially increase the lockpicking skill up to 10 times. And I can pause it until I'm ready to do that. I think I will. So, combine. And what happens if I return to the menu here? Ah, it hasn't sort of started it. So, I guess I will start it. And then pause it? I can always change my mind later, right? I don't know. I've got to... How likely are the other ones? Hang on. So draft a hallway from another hallway. Draft a shop room. I haven't had any shops yet. I think I am going to do this. Start experiment. Now pause experiment. Pause it. So I don't want to do this till the end of the day. Alright. Hopefully I'll remember to do that at the end of the day. Let's go south. Conservatory. Very nice. Redraw's also nice, but conservatory it is. Don't have digging yet. There's a rook. Nothing here. What have we got today? Drawing room. Drawing room, now that it gives me a... My music's not quite loud enough. Turn that up a little. Now that it gives me a gem every time, it's slightly better than it used to be. The study, I want to be commonplace. Standard wasn't enough. I just wasn't getting it often enough. This... Once in a while it's super helpful. So I'll keep it, I think. Oops. And the drawing room, what do I have it on right now? Standard. I'm fine with that. It's like a slightly better den, isn't it? I don't know what den is set to at the moment. Let's find out. Den. I've got 2 dens. It's commonplace. So maybe drawing room should actually be commonplace. Oh, it costs a gem though. So it sort of makes it free. Oh, it's usually commonplace. Huh. I think I'll leave it as it is. I'll leave that. Okay, so what have I done? I've set study to commonplace. Right, let's move on. A little worried about steps now. Let's make our way through here. I suppose I'll take the hallway. It's a bit of a waste of a hallway. Now I think is a better time for a hallway. And I would like yet another hallway around the next corner, if I can. I guess this isn't only ever on the west wing. I thought that was in the west wing hallway for some reason. Okay, commissary or classroom? I think I would like... Well, either one I want it rotated because I want to hit the foundation. Do I want commissary? I think I should take the commissary. Might get me some useful equipment. Absolutely take the shoes. Take the mask. I'll just take everything. Thank you very much. Alright. Oh. Oh. That doesn't help me anymore, does it? Annual Maid's Day. So, here we are in the foundation. And there's stuff to dig. Do I want to go below? I don't know. Not yet, I think. I want a straight through or a... not ideal. But I don't really have a choice. I could have a second break room. It might give me a key card, which would be nice. But I think the observatory and the source of redraws is more valuable right now. Is the door still open? Oh, it's closed again up there. Should have noticed that earlier. So the inkwell, the sail. Ah, too late. And the pizza. 68. I need to get lots and lots of stars. I want to find out what the next thing is. So dining room would be nice, rotated. Yes, because I want to get to the other side of the chamber of mirrors. Take the lunchbox. We don't know what the meal is yet. Any items for me? I don't think so. So I think this is south. Oh no, it's west. I think it's going to be a hallway. And I would like it to go, yes, west and south. Perfect. Now, south towards the Chamber of Mirrors. I need something straight. Am I going to be forced to take this? It's kind of a waste, but I don't want to use a star. Unless I really have to. So yeah, I'll take this. So, Chamber of... Oh, there it is. I worried for a moment. I think, since I still haven't seen a silver spoon or salt, I think I should eat them. And I think a classroom adjoins this, doesn't it? Yeah, I'll go have that as well. It's only worth one step, I suppose, if I'm going in and out. In fact, it was worth no steps at all. That was a waste of time. That's okay. So do I want Her Ladyship's chamber, or do I not? See, I'm not sure. And where can you have the garage? I wonder if you can have it in a rank as low as this. I'm not sure. Can't decide whether I want Her Ladyship's chamber. What can I do with Her Ladyship's chamber? It just sort of powers up a couple of other rooms, doesn't it? Doesn't seem massively useful. Now, a study would be useful, and so would an observatory. I think I should take the study. Do I have any reason to go in? Not at the moment. I might consider it later if I get any brainwaves. So, observatory here might be nice. The keys might be reasonable. Okay, you can get a garage from the east, so the layout inside must change a little bit in order to allow the door to be on that side. Wonder if I've ever had it in this orientation. I don't particularly want it though, I think. I think I'm going to rotate and take the observatory. I think this is the first time I've ever had two observatories. I could be wrong. So up to 69 steps, and let's see what we get. We have some gems. That's great. Key. And another inkwell. I don't think the other inkwell actually does anything for me. I very much doubt there's a different floor plan in there for me, but we are going to find out. No, the other way. No, hang on. Where do I need it again? I do need left. And then downwards. Right? Need to... Or do I want it there? Maybe I need it over there. I suppose like that. Okay, I need to move it further. Seems too far away. Okay, now can I spin it towards me? expect it to be empty. It is indeed empty. Okay. Is that right? I think so. Which way is going to be quicker? Left. Oh no. Okay, we're going right. Maybe it's not high enough. Yeah, I think it's not high enough. Oh well, we're going this way. Okay, very nice. And I suppose I shall continue north. Now, I need many more classrooms. That shouldn't be a big problem. What else do I need? I need food, but I'm about to get steps when I go through here. Oh, I should have used the secret garden key. Too late. Items in green rooms, do I care? Not really. Get the classroom. Now, why did the lunchbox feed me twice just then? The lunchbox just gave me food twice. I don't have anything that makes it do that. I'm not sure what happened there. I'm going to write a note. So I think something just bugged out in my favor. Could be wrong. And we continue. Treasure trove would be very nice. I'm not in a panic for classrooms yet, I think. So I think I will take the trove. Collect its untold riches. Some more money than I need. This guy in this silver, not silver, this gold shiny armor. What's that? Oh, I didn't know I could go back here. Okay, let's see what we've got. Yes, I will use a key. We have a white box with a flame. There's a green handwritten memo. So, let's see what we have in the notes. Treasure trove. Day 87, box 22, white box, flame symbol, green handwritten memo. And before I look at that, we need to look at handwritten green memos. So this is a blue memo, so it's true. Handwritten green memos are always false, but would be true if you changed one color in the text. Okay, and it says... Is this how I do it? Yeah. The next 3 green memos you find in this room will all be true. So, next 3 green memos you find in this room will all be true. So this is false. According to day 86, this is false. The next 3 green memos in the treasure trove after day 87 will not all be true. And if we change one color, we get a truth. So if we changed green to blue, then they will all be true. If we change green to blue, that's clearly true. If we change green to red, then I'd expect 3 handwritten red memos in a row, or in a row as far as red memos go. I don't think this is massively helpful, unfortunately, but maybe the immediate kind of converse reading is useful, and by that I mean this. The fact that the next 3 green memos in the treasure trove will not all be true. I don't know. Anyway, that's the treasure trove for today. Let's move on. So, to the north we go. Special keys. Do I want to use a silver key here? No. Can't pick it. Yeah, we'll use a key. So, conference room might be okay. Workshop might be okay. I could have the classroom point west. I think I will. Let's point the classroom west. And then if I get the opportunity for a secret garden when I get to the west wing again, then I will probably take it. Kitchen, I could have the kitchen. I'm actually okay on steps, I'm okay. Nook for 2 keys, maybe. I'd rather have another classroom, I think, so let's redraw. Okay, that's not facing the right way, which is a shame. Don't really want the clock tower. Let's draw again. Classroom facing the wrong way again. Break room wrong way. Office. It gives a gem, so it's only -1. I don't really want it. I could use it to start as another place to start the experiment for when I'm ready. Oh, do you know what? I actually do want as many steps as possible, don't I? For the end of the day, for the lockpicking skill. But I want a... So if I get another option for a... something that gives a bunch of steps, then maybe I'll take it. No. I don't have protection on that, so no. I wouldn't mind the star. I'd really rather have a classroom. Come on, give me a classroom pointing north, come on. There we go, finally. So, classroom pointing north. I'm hoping for a locked door so that I can use my secret garden key. It's the art classroom. Nothing other than in apple, it seems. Be locked? Not locked. Do I want a kennel? What I want is another west wing door. I guess I've got possibilities for east wing secret gardens. Can you get an east wing secret garden? I don't remember if I figured that out or not. Secret garden. When I have it in the east wing, it's on the east side, but when the weather vane things... What? Oh, in eclipses only appear in the north sky. I don't know exactly what I meant by that. I don't know if I said that I have had one in the East Wing or not. Oh, yeah, apparently, according to this, it does work on either wing. Okay. Okay, how many classrooms am I on? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this will be the 6th one. We can just get them done. Let's get the classrooms done. Apple. Not going to go through the slides again, I think. I don't want a classroom leading that way. I'm happy to redraw. Classroom pointing that way. Why not? So we're grade 7. Let's eat our apple. And there's nothing on the tables. This is back to the wing, I think. I would not mind that. Yep, classroom going left. Ah, yes, of course. Now, armoring the draft pool, no. That doesn't seem useful at all to me. Rook, maybe. Do I want the keys? I don't want to lose the steps, so I'm getting the rook again. I'm getting this every time. We get the apple, and continue. Locked. Now, do I want the secret garden here? I think I do. Might not get a chance on the other side. I don't have any digging implements. So it's in the west wing and north. The end point's north. I'm going to write that down. Secret garden. With secret garden in the west wing, the N is on the north side. Just in case that becomes something that I'm curious about later on. So let's open the east door. And flip all these around. I wish this was faster. This one. And there we go. Let's open the west door. Continue. So this is going north from the secret garden. There should be fruit spread throughout the house. I didn't take the conference room, otherwise it'd all be there. So I think taking the conference room is probably worthwhile. Special keys, we've got silver, so let's try to use the lockpick. That worked. Yeah, classroom number, whatever. Final exam. Right, I'm ready for this. Out of respect for the teacher, I won't eat the apple just yet. So I won't start the countdown just yet, because I'll tell you. Exam. Exam. Final exam. Here we go. So I split them up into categories, and I'm not completely sure about the category boundaries because I think some of them actually apply, like this one, which is the one which has a picture of Orinda and a map of Orindia, and it says what's the difference. I think that's both art and geography. The numbers make sense if it is. The numbers don't make sense if it isn't. Or rather, there's not enough, there aren't enough questions in one of the categories to get the score that I got at one point. So I think that counts as both categories. So then, history. Yeah, first crown ruler of Veneris. Hang on. What are the scores that I got? So on day, I wrote down the scores that I got. I went back through to have a look. Oh, I don't have the entire scores written down, apparently. Oh, I wrote them down for each section. So for many of the sections, I had everything right anyway. The two sections where I struggled were history and Arajan. So for history, there's the first crown rule of Veneris, which I am certain is Tuscan. Then there's the era where the railways were destroyed, which I'm certain is the 6th era. There's the length of the war of the 5th era, which I'm certain is 22 years. There's the first capital of Veneris. Now, this one time I answered... the first time I answered Oris. The second time I answered Reddington. And I went from 5 out of 6 correct to 4 out of 6 correct. So that might look like, oh, so it's Oris after all. Then there is the realm who gifted Fenris the dirigible, and that is Nuance, and I am certain about that. Then finally there's the landmark. The final battle was near. And it mentions the southern shores. It says Royal Museum at Fen, or the Angel Tower, or the Colossus Orinda, or Mount Holly. Now, if you look at the map, Angel Tower is way out of the way, and we haven't seen it mentioned by pretty much anything else. The Royal Museum of Fen is near Fen, and that's next to Morning Bay. Now, let's bring up the map again. Which map do I want? I want the bright white map. Oh, I think I saw it. This one. So, no, not this map. I want the other map. The dim map, not the bright map. Come on. Is it here? No. Got too many screenshots. I should probably delete some of these. Oh, come on. Any moment. I haven't gone past it. It's around here. There we go. Finally. Okay, so, what was I saying? Right, so Angel Tower is way up here. And I don't... Do you call the bank of a river a shore? I don't think so. The shore of a bay, though, you can call that a shore. Now, the problem I was having is... Then, this is the southern shore of the bay, but it's not the southern shore of the land, it's the northern shore of the land. Down here, this is the southern shore of the land, but it's the northern shore of this sea. So, southern shore, I think, could refer to either. Maybe it's more often used to refer to one rather than the other. Like, is the southern shore the southern bit of land, or is it the southern bit of water, the land next to the southern bit of water? I don't know. I don't know which is more common usage, but I can certainly see it interpreted either way. I think it's one of these two, and I lean towards the Colossus, I think. But let's keep looking. So what did I actually answer? I answered Colossus Orinda the first time and Fen the second time. And my score went down. So again, I might be tempted to say, oh, Colossus. But if I answered Oris and Colossus, which are both from the day where I got more points, that's exactly what I answered the first time, and I got 5, not 6. So, thinking about it all again, I went through all the questions and thought, which one could I possibly have wrong? And I landed eventually, and which ones being wrong would then lead to those scores that I had. And where I landed in the end was that the first capital is wrong. And I've written here. So the Sightseer's Guide to Reddington says that Reddington was the first capital, capital, but it says that was the first capital of Orinda Aries. But this is asking the first capital of Fen Aries. And of course, they wouldn't change the name to Fen Aries if they weren't making Fen the capital. And they called it this is why I was comparing the first and second editions of that book. They called it the Grand City of Fen. And that's where the statue of Teskin is, by the museum. And they called them the Fallen of Fen. So I think the first capital was in fact Fen. That's the one I had wrong. Then we talk about Arajan over here. I had 5 out of 6 the first time, and 5 out of 6 the second time, and I gave exactly the same answers both times. So I should have thought about that more the second time I was doing it. So I looked at all of the questions and eventually decided the only one that I feel like could possibly be wrong here is the one where it says this one. Tre Venle cannot be translated to one of these things. And eventually, I mean, I still think that my tree is not very old is the least possible translation, but I think I have it wrong. And so now I'm starting to think it might be this one. I cannot see the tree trunk. Thing is, hang on. Other way around. This is the one that I thought was not possible, but I'm starting now to think. I thought this one was possible. My tree is not very old, but I suppose there is no I there. There's no my. So maybe it's this one. This is what I'm going to go for, because I just don't like the others as being not translatable. Anyway, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to leave this on screen for me because I'm just going to punch in the answers. So we're going to rocket through this and wish me luck. Okay, final exam, let's go. So, yeah, next page. Can I do that from keyboard? No, you can click here. Okay, so I'm having red. I'm having Morris. I'm having orange. I'm having greenhouse. I'm having yellow. And then I gotta go down. I'm having carbon. Oh, hang on, maths next. What's maths? 0, 24, 11, 4, 1, 1. 4, 1, 1. Then I'm gonna have carbon, neon, LL. Carbon, neon, LL. I'm gonna have silver radon 2. Silver radon 2. I'm going to have Morning Bay 2 Kararika. Morning Bay 2 Kararika. I'm going to have Mountain Fen Aries and Mount Holly Reddington. I'm going to have Baleale, Jungle, Realize, and BI. Then for history, we've got Teskin, 6th era, 22 years, then Nuance. Oh, this is where they say Grand City of Fen. Oh, that was also in the first edition. It's like a Fen, or as I've been instructed to call it, the Grand City of Fen. I think that should have been my clue. And so for Battle of 5th Era, I want the Colossus. Then for algebra, alleged algebra, I'm going to have 36, 6, 21, 4, 14, 200. Then Arajan wood for house. We're having, I've written these at the bottom. Hugh, Newgate. My tree is not very old, is what I'm going for. Ulrajuram Le and Ajin et Ovtre. Ajin et Ovtre. And then we're having D. So, exam complete. And hopefully I've finally managed to get them all right. We will see. So where am I? I am in the graduation. 8 years certainly flew by. If it's possible, since I have the Chamber of Mirrors, they'll offer me another classroom. And I will absolutely take one if I have the opportunity. I might even... I'm tempted to try to get to the Antechamber now, because it will save me a lot of steps. But I have a lot of redraws, so I think I will use a bunch. And see if I can get another classroom. 15 redraws. Okay, let's do some redraws. Offer me a classroom. Wonder what it's like to get multiple chambers of mirrors. Might be neat. So I'm going to go through a lot of these redraws just to maximize my chances of being shown another classroom. But then when I get to maybe 3 left, I'll take the first straight through that I'm given. Oh, dining room is actually tempting. Very tempting. And I've already done maybe 8 redraws and haven't seen a classroom, so I don't think it is going to give me another one. I am going to take the dining room. So dinner is served. It's giving me another lunchbox. Now, is it going to feed me lunch twice? It didn't this time. I could have sworn it fed me lunch twice last time. Maybe it didn't feed me lunch twice. Maybe it was Sleeping Mouse that popped up the second time. I'll look at that later, I guess. So this, I'm not sure if I've seen this before. Fruit cocktail? Maybe I have. Dining room. Day 87. And maybe for fruit cocktail. A refreshing blend of tropical Morajay melons, mangoes, oranges, bananas, and local-grown orchard apples, served chilled in a tall Sultanay wine glass. Does that just mean massive wine glass? 5 steps and 2 fruit, plus an additional 2 fruit if you have a wine cellar in your house. Oh, too bad that I don't. So, plus 5 steps and 2 fruit, plus 2 more fruits if wine cellar. That's neat. So I'm not going to have that yet, just in case I want to come back. What does this want? Showroom. I don't have a showroom. I am tempted to save it. Is that a thing? It looks like a treasure map, but it's just civiettes, isn't it? So into the antechamber and then south, I suppose. See if I can connect back with the rest of the house. Am I likely to actually come back here? I think somewhat. I wonder if I could have stood on that and been yeeted up into the air. Okay. Courtyard would be pretty nice here. Conference room is somewhat tempting. I don't have anything to dig with. So I think I will take the conference room. So what do I want to achieve? I've got these redraws and not much to do with them. So that's too bad that I can't go there. I think a silver key would be well placed. Let's see, aquarium would be good, hallway would be good. I could rotate them. No, I think I will. I think I will take the aquarium and rotate it. Not that way. That way. Yes, I was hoping for a gem. That's good. I'm still a little bit suspicious of those. And suspicious of this room in general, to be honest. Oh look, we're in rank 8, so we've got this. Contains a red herring. Yeah. Alright, let's go to the wing. Lockpick? No. Oh, he's a key. I was just saying earlier that I haven't seen the locksmith in a long time. I could do this, and they would all be in the patio. That would be 3 gems. Might be worth having. Would give me another thing in the dining room too. So I think I should. Yeah, I'll take the patio. I should have rotated it. Oh well. I can't dig, and there's nothing here. So I just go this way. Lockpick has worked out for me. Is there anything that I really cannot stand to lose? No. Oh! Classroom 10. I'll take classroom 10. Oh. Really? It's just grade 1 again? That's a shame. That's a shame. Was this on the floor last time? I don't remember it being on the floor. Well, it just gives you grade 1 again. That is too bad. Okay, let's grab our gems. Oh, 4. Why 4? Aquarium. Aquarium is why. Which way? Aquarium. And west. Can't pick it. Throne room. That'd be nice. Yeah, I'll take that. And I don't remember if this ever gives me anything. It does have a king. I might have everything I need for the chess room. I think I do. Anyway, let's pull this, go get the crown. Can't go that way. Wasting a few steps, that's alright. Should I look at my new dish? I will. That's the burger, I've seen this before, sloppy gem. I don't have a gem. I'll just say not yet, I'll come back for that later. This is a long day. Get the crown. I still want to hit 130 again in here. I feel like I've done it before, but what is with these clocks? If it's not just telling me be here at 1:30. Very mysterious. I feel like there's something to this fireplace. Alright, my best route, conference room. I wonder if having more than one conference room would mean things are spread twice to each conference room. I could be tempted to get that, but then I'd have to walk through here again later. So maybe not, actually. Maybe there's no lost and found today. Do I want the workshop? Don't really find a need for it right now. I don't really mind that if I could rotate it. Do I want to spend a gem redrawing? I do have 10 gems, and I doubt I'm going to need all 10. I think I will redraw. Drawing room, maybe, just for the doors. Yeah, I'll take it. What do I want to achieve today? Just upgrading my lockpick skill would be really good. Can't pick it. That's okay. Still got a few keys. Weight room. I don't want to lose half my steps. I'm not that keen on this. I don't really want the pool either. So I will use the crown. Another drawing room. Kennel, don't really want. Utility closet, I don't think I've got a great need for. So let's use the drawing room's ability to redraw. I could get that. No. Maybe. Maybe the hallway. There'd be a lot of hallways in my pool for tomorrow, which I don't have any argument against. It's still not offering me a showroom. This is a shame. Master bedroom? No. Another break room. Or a courtyard or a dovecot. Do I want the keys that this would give me? I guess I'm not that interested. I'll take the courtyard. Maybe it'll give me a digging implement. Give me one of these. Okay, southward. Running out of keys. Another patio. I'd rather have the workshop, I think. I can make myself a lock sound amplifier. Be nice to wake up with that if I get myself a moon pendant. Anything else I can make? No. No, there's not. Okay, we continue south to rank 5. Bunk room. I can try again to wake up with a tomb. Well, fall asleep in the bunk room and get a tomb the next day. I'll try again. So yes, I'll take the bunk room. I won't go in yet. I'll do that at the end of the day. Will I? Yeah, I'll do that at the end of the day. Where am I going? Yes, this way and then south. I'm keen on something meeting back up. You could have another drawing room. Maybe rotated? What are my laundry options again? Gems to coins. I mean, that would be ridiculous gems, but I don't really want them. Gems to keys. Keys and coins. With steam, steps and gems. Stars to allowance. My allowance is like 100 something, I think. Maybe. And dice to keys. That can be nice sometimes. Anyway, I'm not going to have steam, so this is neither here nor there. Am I redrawing, or am I going to rotate that and put it down? I still don't know really what I want, honestly. I think I might just rotate it and put it down. Not that way. the same letter? Yes. This is from Herbert to Mary. My marigold. So, who is Clara's letter to? I don't understand it. Okay, south, and I don't mind if it's a dead end. Do I want the dormitory? Could get me some steps. I don't think I'm going to need them. We can draw again, see if we get something more interesting. Would I want anything from the workshop? I don't really care, I suppose. I'll spend a gem. Maybe there's something more interesting we can have. Parlor could get me 2 gems. Let's throw it away. Oh, the gallery, that's unusual. I don't really want it though. Get key 8, but what for? I suppose the clock tower, let's set up for tomorrow. Mailroom would be nice too. I do have a lot of tomorrow rooms. I'll take the clock tower. I don't think I'm even going to go in, though. I don't think so. So, going west here. And what I would like is to connect back to here. But then again, if I get a mailroom, I'd probably take it. Hallway rotated. I'm a sucker for that. Because that's more keys and it's a way through. And yeah, I think I do want a straight through room. So workshop would be okay. Would anything be better? I don't know, honestly. I'll just take it. Battery pack. So, is there any point in making anything? I don't have... I should have fished for a showroom. I should have spent all my gems fishing for a showroom. Ah, too late. Yeah, it would have been nice to have the locket thingy. Is there any point in making anything? I don't think so. So I suppose I won't. Okay, what I want to do now is to get as many steps as I can. I also want to go down below and fool around with the chess board. I should check before I do that I actually have all of the pieces that I need. I have a king because of the throne room. I have a queen because of the study. I have a rook because of the conservatory and possibly others. Clock tower as well. Oh, I don't have a bishop. I had the option of getting a rumpus room and I didn't take it. So no, I'm not going to go down below. I do have a knight. I certainly have pawns. Alright, so that's too bad. Let's look at end of day checklist. Axe, no. Upgrade discs, no. Treasure map, no. Chess puzzle update, sadly not. Quest bedroom, no. Money at showroom, no. No, no, no. New ideas at safes. Do I have new ideas for the study? The answer is no. Do I want to go there anyway? The answer is maybe. Just going to go through the same steps over and over again, but I have to think about it in order to make progress. Okay. Staff announcements done. Spread money, no point, and I don't think I can. Puzzles done. Freezer, no. Conservatory, no. Check something with coat check, didn't even get it today. Blessing, maybe. End day in planetarium or break room or bedroom. Yes, I want to go to the bunk room. So, what I need to still do is get as many steps as I can by going to the dining room and the other dining room. Then I need to get to the bunk room. No, then I need to get to a terminal, switch on the experiment. I need then get to the bunk room and spend all the steps left on lockpicking skill. So, what is the best way to do this? Do I definitely want to go to the study? Maybe I won't. I've made it commonplace. I'll think about the study next time. So what I am going to do is go to both dining rooms, and then I need to get to a bunk room. So I think I should go to the dining room just to the south first. Oh, I also need to go to a terminal. Okay, I can see how to do that. So I guess I do that first, but then I need to look at the map carefully before I then move on. So, am I going the right way? Observatory, Foundation, Commissary, hallways, security. Is that really the fastest way? Kind of looks like it is. Foundation... Did I do it wrong already? No. Thanks for a moment. Yeah, I don't have anything to dig with. No digging today. Did I want to go below for some reason? No. I bought everything, yes. Ah, fruit. I'll grab all the fruit that I see. May as well find out what is available for grabs. I could go all over the house looking for fruit, but that would not be a good use of steps. 2 gems lying around, apparently, and a treasure map. 9 fruit, which I'm unlikely to find. I need to look at the map before I make any bold choices. So I'm going to... I got to draw it. So... Yeah, hopefully I can make sense of that. Okay. So I'm going to switch this on. Log into network. And we're going to RTA to the lab. Don't know why it says offline when it's online, isn't it? Going to resume the experiment. And get out of here. Do not open the map. At least not until we're ready. I was about to open the map. So, I need to get to both dining rooms. That dining room. I'm going to draw myself some better lines. So security goes to hallway, to column? Don't know what that is. Foundation, observatory, dining room. That's my first trip. So from here, going through 2 hallways, left. Oh, commissary is what that was. Oh. I should be looking harder for fruit and things. Observatory. Dining room. Now we eat everything. I would have liked to have a showroom. Steak. delicious fruit cocktail. Oh, that's what a lot of the fruit is. I didn't realise you can have them separately. I guess that makes sense. A sloppy Jim. I'm going to be very well fed today. There's a banana here too. Nice. Okay, I'm in this dining room. Got to plan the rest. I'm going to go this way through the workshop, hallway, drawing room, throne room, aquarium, conference, antechamber, dining room. It will be worth it. There's a lot of steps there. So, workshop. There's not more than one workshop, is there? No, okay. Workshop. Look for fruit. Hallway, look for fruit. Drawing room, but I've got drawing rooms in both directions, so be careful. Drawing room, look for fruit. Thought that was a fruit. That's weird. That's a very weird looking stand. Anyway, throne room, look for fruit. Aquarium. Conference room. Antechamber. I wonder if there's ever fruit in here. Other dining room. Look for fruit. Second steak. A second sloppy gem. Should take me up to 10 gems. Yeah. A second fruit cocktail. I don't seem to be allowed to have the fruit until I've eaten the course. And then I move onwards. So I need to go... I need to get to the bunk room. So I need to go antechamber, conference room, aquarium, throne room, drawing room. Then I can't quite make sense. I didn't draw that very well. So, oh, I opened the map. Oops, I should look here. Antechamber. That's not open. Conference room, aquarium. Need to get here. Workshop, courtyard, drawing room. Okay. So I'm doing a... Do you know what? It doesn't matter if I open my map a few times as I go. Now, why didn't it take away 10 steps there? 17. Lockpicking skill has improved, it says. Yeah, throne room, drawing room, hallway, drawing room. Think this way. Yeah, that looks like a bunk room to me. I've not been looking around properly for fruit. I was hoping for 2 fruits. Instead, it's 2 gems. So I've still got 100. That's actually really good. I'm going to end in the bunk room. And... oh, I should say hello to the hamster. Hello, hamster. Sup? Yeah, I've still got 100 steps, so I can do that 10 more times. So I've already done 4 triggers. Did I really look at the map 4 times? Yeah, might have done. Lock picking skill. 7 times that day, 1 time day 86, and it's going to be, I think, 14 times day 87. So total 26 after this. I will make sure. But yeah, I think that's it. So, let's 80, 70, 60, 50, 40, 30, 20. Why is it not working? Ah. Is it maxing me out at 10 triggers? I don't think so. I've seen more triggers than 10 before. I think I've maxed out my lockpicking skill. It's not letting me do it anymore. That's interesting. I've still got 30 steps to play around with. Do I now want to go to the study? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I can easily get there and back. So perhaps I will. So I've had 10 triggers this day. So 10 times... Oops. 10 times day 87. And it won't let me get any more. So I think that makes 22 total. I should count these up. 4, 7, 1, 10. 22. So is that maximum lockpicking skill now? Maybe it is. Oh, sorry. I don't think I was showing this. I'm pressing too many buttons at once. So yeah, 22 in total, I think. Alright, I guess I will go. I mean, it's a long video anyway. I may as well go and think about the study some more, so I'm gonna do it. Yeah, and it doesn't matter if I open the thing anymore. I could go and change the data packet if increasing lockpicking skill is no good. Maybe I'll leave it. Maybe I'll leave it for now, just in case it maxes out at 10 for the day, and you're actually allowed more on different days. I feel like I'm going the wrong way. I'm not going the wrong way. Ground for fruit. Can you ever get fruit in here, I wonder? I'm going to waste a step, just really wondering if there's any fruit in there. Seems not. Alright, study. Tell me your secrets. Okay. Let's think it all through again. If we count small gates, 8 dates, crack 8 safes. So, let's count small gates. G8. There's 1. Eight dates. Crack 8 safes. 8 queens. So, how many points is a queen worth again? Points. Score? Ah. 8 dates would be 8 queens, which is 72. That's too much. Queens are worth 9. 8 dates. Crack 8 safes. We see what's in the shade of truth. Is the queen the truth? I don't know. But the shade is on 8E. Or E8. 8E. 80 doesn't help me. 80 is too big for a date. "8E, is it the 8th day of the 5th month? May 8. 05, 08. Or is it 08, 05? I've forgotten which way American has it. Seems not. These empty things are very suspicious. Very suspicious indeed. The candle is also a bit suspicious. What do we know about this room again? Realized in the shade of her creative legacy. Okay, this also says shade. Each endeavor he pursued in this room was realized in the shade of her creative legacy. I think this is a direct clue. I think seek what's in the shade of truth, and this, each endeavor he pursued in this room was realized in the shade of her creative legacy. Which numbers study? Uh, 25, 26, I guess. I don't think that's especially useful. In the shade of her creative legacy. It's this. It's something to do with 8E. E is echo. I was about to do phonetic alphabet, but echo for E. Nothing else in the game has been talking about the phonetic alphabet, so I'm not going to do echo 8 or echo 80. 8 dates, crack 8 saves. So I think this date, the Queen, D8, I think that's saying that she is, you know, the truth, or her. And so we're done with that now. We might be done with date. Now we look at the shade of truth, the shadow on 80. Because again, each endeavor pursued was realized in the shade. It was realized in E8. It was realized in the 80. 80. I was about to say I should spin the globe 80 times. That would be a ridiculous answer, and I'm not even going to entertain it. So Herbert's writing. Delusional to think it can be pulled off by Thursday. I do not think that this is to do with that. Are there? Yes, bird and roe, crow and roe. 8E, 80. Contains a portmanteau. So is the portmanteau just 80? I think it might be. The shade of truth. The shade. 80 shade, shady. Shade, 8 shades, shade. Aid. Shade of truth. It's looking more shadows. I already tried with a burning glass here, so I cannot light that candle to make more shade. Though if I could, where would the shade be? Well, I don't know. It would be everywhere emanating from the candle. No, I shouldn't be thinking like that. That is silly. 8 meters. 8M. 8E. There's no M on the board. M is 13. Sacred hour on that thing. What did I know about it again? I know that we are not using digits. There's 6, 7, and 9 do not appear. That's what I wanted. Okay. 0, 0, 8, 0. We seek what's in the shade of truth. We seek 80. We seek a white square. We seek, a king. A king would be there. Do we need to seek a king? a black king, king black, 80, king 80, 80 king. Come on, banker's lamp, illuminate my mind. So many books. $80. 8 dates, crack 8 safes. 80, what is 80? I've tried the date of day 80. Date, gate, 80. Hate. I am no further. Other than this, I do think each endeavour pursued, realised in the shade of her creative legacy. That shadow has to be there on purpose. I mean, it's weird. It's not even... It's as if there's a light up there, but there isn't. Okay, hang on. Yeah, it was realised in the shade of her creative legacy. So her creative legacy is up here? Or at least this way? But it's realised in the shade, not where the light comes from. Could there be something hiding among these books? Shade of her creative legacy. What about in this shade of this creative legacy? I'm not seeing anything with these books either. And I am getting towards the point of giving up in here. Yet again. We sequence in the shade of truth, realized in the shade of her creative legacy. Contains a portmanteau. Those who have a favourite or powerful for those who no longer have trouble amassing gems or solving chess portmanteaus or something like that. And I remain stuck. I still think these panels are suspicious, but they do appear in other rooms as well, so maybe I shouldn't be suspicious. But these, maybe I shouldn't be suspicious, is that what I just said? But these empty picture frames are more suspicious. Okay, in the shade of her creative legacy. Do I need to look more carefully in the shade of pictures of Baroness Orove? What does she look like again? We've got her here somewhere. There's a family tree picture. I want to start there. Is that her? No. That's... Maybe. I'm going to keep looking. That's not the Baroness. And I've looked very carefully in the shade of that picture. Come on. Around here somewhere, hopefully. Oh, I've got a picture of her somewhere. Is that Baroness Orbe? I need the family tree picture. Ah, okay. Baroness Orbe, yes. That's her. Isn't it? In Eclipse locket. Kind of wavy, neat hair. Earrings. Pretty face. It's definitely not her. It's definitely not her. It's not Ashlyn, is it? Yeah, it's Orve. So in the shade of her creative legacy. So we go back here. It doesn't look like there's going to be anything hiding in the shade of this image. I don't see any particularly shady areas, in fact. She's got an earring which is blurry, but blurry is not the same as shady. I think I've zoomed in everywhere on this anyway. Let's go back to the version where... Yeah, let's go back to the version where she is old, which is around here somewhere in the attic. I went past it not too long ago, I think. I don't want to skip it by going too fast. Any moment now. Any moments. Prints. New clue. Can we see which... Right. Yeah, I see which direction they're looking. Okay. The shade of her creative legacy. Is there anything we can see here? I don't think so. I don't know if there's anything we can see behind this picture, but I don't have an attic today, so I can't look. Alright, that didn't go anywhere. Shade of her creative legacy. I still think 80 or something to do with this white square is going to be important in this. But I think I am yet again giving up for now. One day. One day. Alright, I need to get myself back to the bunk room. So that's going to be passageway, dining room, and north a bit. Am I going this way? Doesn't matter, but yes. I may have seen a banana out the corner of my eye back there. Doesn't matter, don't need it. So, back in the bunk room to end the day, to hope for a tomb yet again. Maybe we can play some Dirigiblocks or whatever games we've got. And call it a day. So, oh, did I want to change the data packet? It's too far away now, I can't do it. So, never mind. So yeah, I will call it a day there. Call it. So an unusual day there. Garden Castle of Tomorrow, which I believe I've had probably several times. So I had, count them, 10 classrooms today. Final exam plus 1. And the 10th one was just grade 1 again, so I'm assuming they just loop. I'm glad I did that, because now I know and I don't have to try it again. I also hope that I have got 100% in everything in the classroom. I don't know. I don't think that's going to give me anything. I already got a trophy for acing the exam. Does acing an exam just mean that you got an A? To me, it means get everything right. But whatever. Hopefully I've got all of them. And, you know, it's just for fun, if nothing else. What else did I achieve? I got 2 observatories plus an aquarium. So I'm plus 3 stars for the day. That's good. There's lots of hallways. 1, 2, 3, 4... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hallways. So there'll be 6 in the deck tomorrow, which I think is nice to have. Although it's not going to help me for Draxus, is it? I need to collect a lot of stars because I need to get a Draxus plus whatever other new constellations there might be. I didn't quite get all the chess pieces together. I wanted to go down and look at the chess puzzle again, try to castle, but that was not to be. The conservatory, I adjusted the study to be commonplace, and I think that's going to be a good thing for me. I think I had the opportunity to make conference room more common. I didn't do it. Maybe I should have. Not sure. I'm also thinking that the Chamber of Mirrors should probably be more common too. I think that will help with Draxus, since it counts as a dead end but isn't really one. Plus it means I get to duplicate things. So I think next time I get the opportunity to have a Chamber of Mirrors made more common, I should probably do it. Fell asleep in the bunk room, so that's good. Hopefully tomorrow, hopefully I'll draw a throne room. Not throne room, hopefully I will draw a tomb outside and finally find out what that does. Worst case, it's just an extra flower, I think, which is an extra gem. But best case, it's actually something more interesting than that. I don't know. Let's see, what else? I had a treasure trove, although I don't think the clue today was particularly useful, though we'll see. Didn't fall asleep in the break room. I'm not especially well set up for tomorrow. I think I'm going to have quite a few keys. How many? 7 tomorrow rooms. So 7 keys waiting for me tomorrow. Plus, I think 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hallways in the pool. I didn't get a mail room, unfortunately, so no package waiting for me. But that's okay. I didn't get the coat check this day, so didn't do any digging. What else? Anything else interesting to say? I don't think so. I think that will do it. So thank you, as always, for joining me. Hope you're having a great day. Bye-bye for now.